So hello everyone. Before I start, I really need to apologize for not respecting the dress code. So my sincerest apologies to the hosts and the organizers, but I'll be very honest. So I did pack my red jacket and I opened the suitcase this morning in the hotel. I put my red jacket on, but after 2 years of COVID, unfortunately, I had a bit tight situation. And I need to feel comfortable for doing this, so I do apologize. Okay, first of all, wow. I'm amazed with all of the women that had the courage to stand on the stage today, and with the ladies that I have had the pleasure of meeting before, so I'm super interested to see what the end of today will bring me. So thank you again for having me. I love being in Prague. I love Czech Republic. This has been my 7th or 8th time I've been here, so I always have a lot of fun. And I guess that there is always this Croatian and Czech connection, because I hope that we are still your preferred touristic destination. So please come back. We need you. Okay, I'll talk today. I'm here today as a woman, as a mom, as a representative of Mondelēz International, and a company that actually has a very strong passion towards diversity, inclusion, equality, and belonging agenda. I'm not going to talk about companies' corporate policy about it and corporate agenda and our KPIs on delivering on this promise and commitment to the community, because we believe that this is an important discussion and important narrative that we need to lead. But I'm going to talk about my personal story, and I do hope that some of you will connect to it and hopefully get inspired. And I hope to leave enough time for the questions at the end. Okay, so there are 3 parts to my story. First one is ask, second one is say yes, and third one is believe in the right to sit at the table. What do I mean by that? So first one, asking. When I was a kid in Croatia, late 80s, early 90s, basketball was a huge thing. We had Dražen Petrovic, one of the first European players in NBA. We were super proud of that. And I'm not going to take this to a sports story. It's not going to be a sports story. But we were super psyched about the whole basketball topic. And my mom was working from early mornings, late in the evenings, 2 jobs, so she didn't have time for us kids. So babysitting of us kids and taking care of us was left for grandfathers, cousins, dads, everybody who was at home. What they did and what they considered as babysitting was just doing their own thing and taking us along, right? So what we did as kids, we spent the time in the sports courts, and mainly basketball. So when I was there with my grandfather and my father, I was the only girl there, and I asked a question to my dad, is there any women playing basketball? He told me, yes, of course, there's Koralka Hlede. Probably nobody ever heard of her, but she was also playing in NBA, women NBA, which I didn't know until that point that it actually exists. So I asked my father, when can I start playing? And he told me, actually, you cannot start before high school. There are not that many girls' clubs for basketball, so take your time, right? And I was there every weekend and during the weekdays with them. So one older coach actually showed me a couple of moves and started practicing with me. And somehow I learned basketball until I started playing later in my high school years. But that coach did one thing. One mistake, right, that taught me a lot. He never asked me, am I left-handed or right-handed? And he taught me how to play basketball with my right hand. I am actually a left-handed person, but he never asked. He missed one very important thing. So till today, in my career and in my friendships and in my family, I always take the importance of asking people about them, about their beliefs, about their strengths, about their commitments, about their drives, about their motivation, just to understand them a bit better. And I don't ask just to get the answer, I ask to understand. That is the most important thing, because people, this whole conversation is actually like an onion. You need to unpeel all of the layers to actually get to know the person and understand what are they saying to you. And that is of crucial importance in how I today treat my team members and how I approach the situation of leadership. So ask to understand. Second part of the story is saying yes. I had many changes in my career. I went through 10 different roles, and some of them were good, some of them were bad, some of them were up in the organization, some of them were even stepping back, but all of them were shaping experiences that enabled me to be where I am today. Why did I always say yes? Because if I learned how to play basketball with my left hand, then I can say yes to everything and learn how to do things, yeah? So my last role, when they offered me 4 or 5 years ago to come to work and live in Switzerland, I just got back from my maternity leave, and I got back to a new role already. So doing one more change would mean a lot of energy, a lot of efforts, a lot of uncertainty, completely being out of my comfort zone with a kid in a new country. But I did say yes because I learned how to play basketball with my right hand, so I can obviously do it. So I started doing it, and it was, from the start, it didn't feel right. It took a lot of energy and a lot of struggles that I went through, and it was not easy, and I'm not saying now 5 years later that it's easy. It was definitely a shaping experience that I needed to go through to enable me to know how to lead my team members and how to actually also communicate upwards in the organization what is the role that us women need to do in the organization. How do we support each other, and what do we need to do in actually understanding which ambitions certain person has, but also which limitations we as a company are not providing them, what limitations we as a company have, and how can we improve that, yeah? Leading me to the third part of the story, which is believing in your right to sit at the table. That for me means the following. So everybody who has kids here probably will relate to what I'm going to say, but also the ones that don't have, you will remember yourself as a child, I hope, yeah? So when we were kids, we didn't have any limitations and borderlines in our minds of what we can or cannot do, right? I played basketball with my right hand. So we did start testing and learning about what we can do. We tried, and if we were successful in it, we continue doing it. If we couldn't do certain things, we either tried and tried to follow up and try to get improved, or we stopped. But we actually tried everything. And if somebody didn't tell us that we cannot do it, we believe that we can. My daughter, when she's helping me fold the laundry, she's doing it with the level of confidence like she's doing it the best possible way in the world. There's nothing telling to her that she's doing a really lousy job, right? And I'm not discouraging her. I'm giving her actually the confidence that yes, you're doing it well, and she's going to continue to do it. And what my role with her and on the job is actually to encourage her and to teach her and to coach her and to guide her how to do it better. And by doing it, she will do it better each time. So that's the role that we have, actually, to believe in the fact that everybody has the right to sit at the same table. Because my daughter, again, she would pull the chair. When COVID started, she would sit next to me with her 4 years, open her kiddie laptop, and sit next to me the whole day thinking she's actually selling Toblerone and Philadelphia and Milka across Europe, yeah? And I didn't tell her she's not. So she still believes that she helped us, yeah? So basically what the story is that we need to ask our team members and ask them to understand. We need to really create an environment where they will be open to share their struggles, where they will be open to talk about the ambitions that they have, but also the limitations and barriers to execution that some of you already mentioned today on the stage. It is important to create the safety environment in our organizations where people will feel the courage and the power of the organization to enable them to succeed. That is the role that we have. So please ask, please always say yes, and believe in your right to sit at the table. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Marina. Amazing personal story and very clear 3 examples of what to do. Really love that. You spoke about your motto.
Yes.
Your motto is about say yes. When you get the opportunity, even you don't know how to do it, no. You will learn how to do it. Is there any moment in your life, career, where you really felt like you said yes, and it changed your life journey significantly?
A lot of moments. A lot of moments that in the time when I said yes, and the short-term period after that, I regretted it, right, in that specific short term. But now looking on those decisions that didn't feel comfortable at the beginning, now looking at it backwards, I would still, again, do the same and say yes, because they did lead me to where I am today. So just a bit of a courage behind the decisions is the only thing that we need.
Courage is the thing.
Yeah.
I have many questions, but I would like to give a space to people in the room to ask questions if they have any questions for you. Somebody brave, with courage, to raise hand. Niekto, kto má otázku, kto by sa chcel Mariny spýtať. Vidím ruku vzadu, nech sa páči, poprosím dievčatá s mikrofónom.
Hi, thank you for the speech, it was amazing. I was wondering, when you say yes, how long does it take to make a decision? Well, this great decision to change a country, to change a lot.
Yeah, well, people around me do consider it being a hasty decision in the majority of the cases, because what is guiding me is to say yes. But then it's just about taking for me, the process of understanding what level of support and surrounding system I need to actually deliver on my decision is the process that I enjoyed the most, because teaching myself and people around me that I actually can do it, I believe is the biggest role that we have, of actually showcasing through our actions and through what we do that everything can be done at the end, because nobody stopped us and nobody told us that we couldn't. Yeah. So for me, it's that.
Thank you for a great question. Vďaka za skvelú otázku a vďaka za skvelú odpoveď. Thank you for a great response.
Hello.
Viacej otázok?
I like your speech and thank you for it. And I would like to ask you if you still play the basketball with the right hand.
Yes. I would probably play in women NBA if somebody taught me to use my first hand.
Have you ever tried the left one?
Sorry?
Have you ever tried the left one?
I did try, but unfortunately unsuccessful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vidím ďalšiu ruku hore na ľavej strane, poprosím o mikrofón.
I wanted also to say thank you for the speech. It was really amazing, and I can relate to myself when you said about left-hander, because I'm also left-hander, and I actually, when we got my first computer, I just started using the computer mouse with the right hand, and I still have never learned how to use it with the left hand, so I sort of adjusted. My question will be, so when you say yes to these opportunities, have you ever had the situation you said yes, in the meantime you decided maybe like you want some actually changes in that decision, and have you did you came and said, I said yes in the past, but now I would like to say no and choose myself and choose my priorities or something like that?
Yeah. Well, of course, before I say yes, I think about my priorities, definitely. And that's, for me, always the most important value of my life is my family. It was even before my child, so it's always my family first. So I do take all of the priorities before saying yes into consideration. But I did on some occasions, changed my mind and decided to say no, but for the relevant reasons that went against my values. So if anything goes really against my core values, then I would say no and change my decision.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you for sharing, and we will continue with the next speaker. So thank you. You can continue this way, take flowers and picture. Thank you.